Welcome. Today we want to talk about how you can rebrand yourself and your life for the next season of your life. It really doesn't matter when you decide that you want a new life for yourself. Ask yourself, am I really living the life that I truly desire? And if that's not the case, you can start rebranding your life. And rebranding your life doesn't just mean getting a new job or getting a new look, although those things are also important, but it's really going deep inside to see if you are really living a life that is aligned with your deepest desires. And if not, then it's the perfect time to start creating momentum that will change that in the future. So let's dive into 5 steps that you can use in order to truly rebrand yourself and your life. The step 1 is to reflect and release. Although it's a great idea to reevaluate your year, think about those New Year's resolutions. What about you start them now? So that when the new year is really here, you are already full steam on realizing your desires and your goals. So reflect on the past year and see what did well and what didn't go so well. We can learn from all those experiences in order to do more of the things that did well and less of the things that didn't do so well. And instead, what can we do instead of those things that didn't go so well? So take a few minutes to really journal about everything that no longer aligns with you. What habits, what people, what events, what way of doing things, what beliefs no longer align with the new version of yourself that you want to bring in. By shedding that old skin and starting to living like the person you really want to be, this is the first step. So reflecting on what those things are and prioritizing the things that you really want to have in your life. Write down what you want to let go of, and then also write down the things that you really want to call in your life. What kind of habits, what kind of belief do you want to adopt, and what kind of people do you want to have around you? Journaling is really your best friend when you are trying to rebrand yourself, to become a version of yourself that can even be unrecognizable. And I plan to do a video on that subject, using journaling in order to be unrecognizable because you are rebranding yourself so deeply. And also, another very powerful thing that made a huge difference for me was to embrace and connect with my dark feminine energy. That energy that is going to give you the savageness to say, I know what I want and I always get what I want. Well, that energy can be dangerous if you don't have the integrity that goes with it, right? And this can be how people can start affairs because they see someone that they want and they want to go after that at all costs. But when you have integrity, you understand that yes, you are the queen, you can break all the rules the way you want to, but at the same time, you also don't want to hurt people just because you can, right? So it's really important to integrate that savageness. What is the savage energy? It is when you are more of your animalistic side. You know, there is the animalistic side and then there is the more divine side in all human beings. So the more we go to our divine side, the more we are more conscious, the more we think for the good of everybody involved in a situation. The more we go to our animalistic side, the more egotistical we are, and the more we only think about ourselves, our benefits, and it doesn't matter who we cut down on our way. So when we are in that animalistic side, we are expressing more of our savage nature, right? And I don't want to say that one is better than the other one, because to both extreme, they can be detrimental. For example, if you are too savage, then you can destroy people and things around you, right? And if you are too much in your divine energy, then people can take advantage of you, and you don't give yourself permission to do the things that you really want to do because you let people go first. Well, this is when you are not so aware of prioritizing yourself and your well-being, as well as being that beautiful, conscious, loving being. So it's really important to find the center where you can call in your savage energy when it's necessary and call in your divine nature when it's necessary. This is going to be so useful when you are rebranding yourself. You can go to a degree where you look in the mirror and you are like, who are you, right? Because you don't even recognize yourself anymore. Moving on to step 2, which is to define what your core values are going to be from now on. So when you have released the old energy and the old habits, at least in your journal, you can now create space for what you really want. And it all starts with your values, and your intuition will guide you to the kind of value that will help you on this new journey that you are embarking on. So moving forward, what do you want to stand for? What are your new standards? What are you going to tolerate in your life? Let me give you an example of this. I share with you that struggle, that internal conflict that I had with wearing makeup for my videos or not wearing makeup for my videos. First of all, is it a self-sabotage mechanism to be dancing with those two aspects? For me, it was makeup, right? But what is it for you? Maybe you have one aspect when you are constantly in duality, thinking about what do you really want to do. So ask yourself, is this self-sabotage? And what is hidden behind that self-sabotage? So for me, for example, I feel more elevated. I feel like my self-worth is increased because I take the time to take care of myself. So it's not just about how I look, but it's also the energy that I can wake up in me when I put some makeup on. And it's also the version of myself that is nearer to my dreams and my desires. I want to see myself as a high-value woman that I am, right? And that high-value woman loves herself without makeup, but her brand is represented by a woman who takes care of herself. So what is it for you that you are constantly in internal conflict in, right? Dissolving those inner conflicts are going to be very beneficial. And how do you do that? Is to define your core values. What do you want to stand for? How do you want to elevate yourself? How do you want to empower yourself? Which version of yourself represents your most empowered version of yourself? And again, I want to make this really clear that it's really about loving ourselves in the first place, no matter how we are showing up, right? Is it in your business? Is it creating your YouTube channel? Is it getting your dream relationship? Is it the way you present yourself? Is it a new job that you are going after? It doesn't matter what it is for you. That new version of yourself, that new life that you want to create for yourself, like, is it having more order in your environment? For that, you need to have some values and some habits that you will put in place. For example, if it's about taking care of your environment, then routines, small routines that will help you constantly make sure that your environment is tidy up is going to be really beneficial. And also asking yourself, like KonMari said, does this spark joy? And have your possessions around you that really spark joy for you. And the things that you don't need, well, declutter, let them go. This will make space for the things that we really love in our life. Adopting the minimalistic mindset where the things that you have around you are your most precious things and you love them so much. There is nothing wrong in having abundance, but it's so much beautiful when the abundance that we have also represent the love that we have in our life. When we surround ourselves with the most beautiful things that we have, like these beautiful flowers, these beautiful red roses that my husband just gave me, just gorgeous, right? So surrounding myself with the things that I really love like that, and that represents something very beautiful for me, they are just going to be what elevates that energy, and that helps me to maintain that new version of myself that I'm creating. Just look at this. I was fascinated by this rose. She's so special for going this way. She's not just straight, but she has a beautiful form. And I wanted to share this with you. So for me, that rose represents the challenges that we can have in our life, but they make us be so particular, so special, so rare because of those things that we are going through in life. I don't know exactly what made her have that shape, but I'm sure it's something challenging. Maybe there was something on her way when she was growing up. And it's the same for us on that journey to rebrand ourselves, on that journey to create that new version of ourselves. There will be challenges along the way. This leads me to my next point, the next step in the journey to rebranding yourself, which is to redefine your daily habits, including the challenges and the support. It's not because you are challenged that you will give up. Generally, when I try something new, I give myself permission to fall 3 times. I'll give you an example for this. Last year, I tried to eliminate things like sugar from my nutrition. And how it went for me is that I will fail. I will eat something sweet and I will be like, oh, actually, I don't want to be eating these things anymore. So I tell to myself, I'm no longer available for sweet things because they create spike in your blood sugar and it's not so healthy for you. So I feel like that, but I say to myself, I reprogram my mind, I'm no longer available for this. So even if I am failing, I am also reprogramming my mind for not failing the next time. And if I fail again the next time, I repeat the same thing to myself. So for finally letting go of that sugar, what was really important for me, what really changed everything for me, was to repeat to myself, I am no longer available for this. So in creating your daily habits, for our step 3, you are going to have your old habit come back, right? And you might fail a few times. And if that is the case, give yourself permission to just fail forward while reprogramming your mind, telling yourself, I am no longer available for blank, right? I'm no longer available for stress. I'm no longer available for worrying. I'm no longer available for, you can fill the blank. Everything that you have tried to let go in your life, when you reprogram your mind like that, and you really believe that you are no longer available for that, this is really going to be what makes the great difference. And that liberates you from that thing that have been keeping you in prison. So it's time to change those daily habits so that they reflect the new version of yourself that you have been rebranding into. What does it mean for you? What kind of habit align with that person? Maybe it's having a salad every day, taking your supplements every day. Maybe it's going for a walk in nature. What is it for you? If it's for your business, maybe it's making sure that you will be consistent with your content creation, like at least 1 video per week, and make sure that you plan that video, that you research maybe, that you film that video, that you edit it, all the steps that are necessary. And one thing that was really important for me also is to invest in myself, right? You cannot do the same things and expect different results. So what can you tweak to align with that new vision that you have for yourself? If your goal is to have more peace, to radiate more of your feminine energy, to be more poised, to take care of your health. I prepared for you this beautiful small guide. It all starts with your intuition. You will get inner work prompt, inspired activity, and affirmation. Take it one step at a time and do one activity every day. Your morning routine, maybe you can start your morning very mindfully, waking up, maybe smiling or laughing, blessing the day ahead, writing your gratitude, taking the time to calm down and to set intentions for the day, waking up slowly, helping your children maybe to go to school with a very loving energy, not being stressed. If you are tight with time, then maybe you can wake up a little bit earlier so that you have enough time to be that loving parent for your children. And then you can start your own day. So what is your morning routine? This is a very important part, as well as your Tagesablauf, like they say in German, your daily routine, so to speak. It's important to have a routine that you really love and to have things that you are looking forward to do. On a daily basis, what can you introduce that you are looking forward to in the day? I'm looking forward to look a video on YouTube. That's one of the things that I love doing before going to bed, or to learn from one of my courses that I've invested in. Yes, I love that. Sometimes we really want to make big move, bold move, right? For example, changing your whole makeup to upgrade your look. That can be very important. But other times, it's really the small shift that you are doing that change everything. For example, suppressing sugar is going to help your skin to feel better overall. It's going to slow down your aging process. Sugar is one of the things that makes us age faster because of the chemical reaction that it has in our body. So by eliminating sugar, for example, it's a small shift, and you can reduce maybe until you can do that, or you can just say, I'm no longer available for that, and then fail a few times until it becomes your new reality. How can you make that easy for you? Maybe you don't get tempted by ice cream or anything. Even if the kids have it, you are like, I'm no longer available for that. And also finding a nice replacement for that is going to be very beautiful. Have a green juice, for example, or a carrot apple juice that is really sweet, also more high in nutrients for your body. Those things are going to help you to glow. In your rebranding, it's going to be helpful for you to have those nutrients as well. So what are the daily routine that can help you to be consistent with those nutrients? So I am on this journey to create my dream business, merging masculine energy and feminine energy, and also using YouTube. So what daily routine can I make in place in order to make sure that I'm going forward in my goal? For example, planning videos, researching for videos, learning about all of those subjects, and then making sure that I'm consistent with my content, right? It's a stretch for me to do 3 videos a week, but how can I make it easier for me, right? And by changing your beliefs, instead of saying, oh, I'm so stressed, I cannot do this, how about you make an experiment and you ask yourself, how can I make this process easier? You make an experiment where you try to create those 3 videos, and then you ask yourself, how can you simplify that process, right? If the editing took you too much time, then maybe less editing will be helpful. If you didn't plan, and that's why the editing took you too much time, maybe next time you can plan better, right? And bring in so much pleasure in that. How can you make it pleasurable for you? Because we want to do the things that are pleasurable for us automatically. For me, for example, if I'm editing, I will stop when I'm bored and I will change the project. I use the Pomo Focus, right, on the computer, and after 25 minutes, they will signal it and I will change. Moving on to the step number 4 on this journey to rebrand yourself and your life, which is to create your support system. Not only the outer support system, like the beautiful people in your life who encourage you, but also the internal support system, like the routines that help you to stay grounded, to stay in flow, to stay in a peaceful energy. Is it meditation? Is it a walk in the forest? Is it exercising? What is it for you? Do those activities as much as possible in order to stay focused, to get closer and closer to that version of yourself every time. Meditation, journaling, talking with somebody you trust are things that are really important to have that inner system that guides you, that supports you on that journey to becoming a new version of yourself that you love. So even when life gets chaotic, it's important to have something that will remind you of that goal that you have, of that direction that you wanted to take, of that change and transformation that you were doing in your life. This is why a community can be very important, and also investing in yourself, if you don't have someone like that in your life that can help you to stay grounded and focus on your objective. All right, now moving on to step number 5, which is to embody and express that new version of yourself on a daily basis. So now that you have all those foundations in place, like you reflected, you let go of what no longer serves you, you have a vision that pulls you forward, you have daily habits that support that vision, and also a support system, the books you read, the mentors you have, the people around you who know your vision and support you to grow. Now it's time to really embody that new version of yourself. And this is when you need all aspects of yourself. You need your feminine energy, her divine aspect, her dark feminine aspect, her light feminine aspect. You need your masculine energy also to take those aligned action and to get your desires to you. And you need that dark feminine energy to protect those desires. Not think, oh, I'm not deserving of this, but thinking, I know I am a beautiful, powerful woman who always gets her desires. You don't want to know necessarily how they will come to you, but you just have the certainty that you always get your desires. And it means also that you embrace the support along the way, and as well as the challenges along the way, because there is always a lesson to learn. And this is exactly what I also talk in my new You course. What is that person going to be like, right? You embody that. How does she show up? Does she show up with makeup? If that's yes, then it doesn't matter if you don't feel like wearing makeup. Make it easy for you to be the person who shows up with makeup. How is she carrying her hair, right? Her nail. Who is that person for you? Not because you are trying to fit in and do what everybody else is doing, but listen to your inner guidance and your intuition and what is aligned for you. If taking care of yourself like makeup and nails and doing your hair represent that higher version of yourself, that rebranded version of yourself, then embody her by showing up like her, right? And the more you do it, the more it becomes easier for you. How does she dress? How does she work, right? Slow down her work. Let her work with confidence and constantly work on that self-belief, on that self-concept, on elevating that self-concept, the way you see yourself, right? Also, give yourself permission to let the self-doubt live inside of you, just as the self-belief. Because that is one thing that used to hold me back so much that when I felt the self-doubt, I would stop everything and be like, oh no, I cannot continue. But even now that I'm taking that rebranding for myself, right? It's the end of the year at the moment I'm filming this video. But instead of waiting for the new year to say, okay, here is my new year resolution, why not start now? You have the cold winter coming. And so you can really use that time instead of vacationing and so on, like we love to do in the summertime when the sun is giving us that joie de vivre, right? Now that it's the winter time, it's really time to focus on what you really want, to plan those things, to change your belief, to align your belief with who you really want to be, and to have clarity, to create that clarity. Something that is on my mind is defining my niche. And I'm like, what is my niche actually, right? And I asked myself, well, if you knew your niche, what would that be, right? And I just create videos that align with me. And I know that this is how my niche will be redefine itself. And also resonating with what my community wants to see more of, right? So give this video a thumbs up if that's the direction that you want to go in. Because I will see those things and they will inspire me to create more content in that direction. And this is how my niche will certainly emerge. So in the meantime, think about if I just stop everything and say, oh, I don't know my niche, so I cannot create anything. That would be so shattered, right? It would be so sad. But giving myself permission to let the self-doubt or the imposter syndrome or the unclarity coexist with my self-belief, with my confidence to create content is really what is pushing me forward and pulling me toward my dream. That is to create that dream business, right? And so can you also take those steps and go forward? I want to remind you that becoming a new you is not about changing who you are, right? It's more about becoming your most truest, authentic version of yourself, the most empowered version of yourself, right? Confident, magnetic, attracting to herself her deepest desires. That is the new you, right? Not a persona that you created just to fit in or to people please or whatever. No, no, no. We are going within. We start with our intuition. We create our vision from that intuition, and that pulls us toward what we are meant to do on this earth, right? That is the new version of yourself. Sometimes we will play small. We will let the self-doubt, the limiting belief, the history of our family hold us back. But becoming the new you means that you take with your journaling, for example, all those limiting beliefs one after another, and you see where they are coming from, and you decide if you want to keep them or not. And if that is not something that you want to keep, then you let them go. And this will help you, will train you to attract more abundance in your life, to create something for yourself that was not possible for you, for your old version of you, right? But by constantly working on yourself and taking help from people who went that road before you, seeing their blueprint and applying it to you, making it your own, this is going to help you to get to your own destination as well. And then you can use that blueprint and help other people by adding value and by helping them also on their journey, like I'm trying to do right now with this video. It seems on this journey to rebranding yourself, your journaling is going to be your best friend. I really encourage you to watch my video, how to journal so that you become unrecognizable. Watch this video next that YouTube is recommending for you. Enjoy. Until next time, stay inspired. I love you. Bye-bye.